Hi, and welcome to Smart Beach Investors Weekly Real Estate Update for Florida's Emerald Coast. This is where we take a look at the vital market statistics, looking for trends and anything that will tell us where prices are headed in the short term and even the long term. Then we offer a little bit of analysis that will help you determine whether you should buy, sell, or hold your property. All right? That's what we do. I'm John Moran. I am the CEO and founder of Keller Williams Realty's At the Beach team and Smart Beach Investor. And that's what we're going to do here. So let's go ahead and get started. So supply and demand, right? It's such a massive battling against one another to determine where the prices are going here for real estate on the Emerald Coast. So let's take a look at supply first. We're going to look at Destin Condos. Take a look at this chart. This is pretty interesting. I wanted to see if the number of listings is going up, if supply is going up, because it kind of feels a little bit like we have a little more supply than we've had. I wanted to see, is that true or does it just feel that way? So far this year in Destin, as it relates to condos, 1,549 condo listings so far. Okay, that seems like a lot, but is it? Is it? Let's take a look. In 05, 3,812. What? That's a lot more than there is now, right? 2,000 plus more than there is now. Certainly more than, but of course that was the heyday of the big run up back then. 2010, 5 years later, it dropped all the way down to 1,725. Probably seemed like nothing for sale, but still significantly more than what's listed right now. 1,725 versus 1,549, right? Still a lot more. 2015, 1632. Oh, it's condensing. Nothing for sale. Yeah, still significantly more than there is right now. Here, 1549 versus 1631. All right, so now it's starting to loosen up in 2020, right? COVID, people starting to list and sell. 1771 in 2020. That's significantly more than 1549 today. And last year, there was 1995. Compared to 1549 now. We're at a 22.4% delta. There is not more supply for at least Destin condos right now. So if you're looking for supply to be a price relief, I'm not seeing it. This chart isn't showing it. Let's look at Destin homes. Anything different there? Supply for Destin homes. So far this year, 823 homes for sale in Destin. Okay, is that a lot? Seems like a lot. Seems like we're seeing more, right? A little bit. Is it a lot? Let's take a look. 2005 heyday, 1,340. That is significantly more than 823 we're seeing today. 2010, right? It dropped, fell back, 766. We actually have more homes for sale in Destin now than there were year to date in 2010. Okay, that's cool. All right, maybe there is more. But there's not. Look at 2015. There were 890, which is more than there is today, right? 2020, 912, significantly more than the 823 we have now. And even last year, 898 versus 823. While it might seem like there's more houses for sale right now in Destin, and they are creeping up just a hair year over year compared to different time frames, no, supply is not a friend to buyers. If you're looking for supply to drive prices down, not seeing it, not yet. How about 30A? What's going on down there? Let's take a look at the condos. How many condos for sale? So far this year, there's been 332. Here's the chart right here, 332, okay? In 05, 724, double, okay? 05 was a big year for real estate sales and listings. 2010, drop, right? 341 versus 332 this year, okay? Okay, so that's pretty close. 2015, there was 350 condos listed year to date so far. This year we have 332. 5% delta, it's 5%. Is that margin of error? I don't know. 2020, there were 392 condos listed year to date, 60 more than the 332 we've had here. And then last year we had 332. This year, 332. It's flat. Okay, so yeah, again, I'm not seeing, this isn't showing that supply is going to drive prices down. Not seeing it. How about houses on 30A? What do we got for houses on 30A? Well, let's take a look. So far year to date, 1,327 listed for sale. Okay. '05, 1,061. So we're up compared to '05, the big heyday. And I think that was because there just wasn't very many homes on 30A back then. All right. They've really been popping up over the last 10 years or so. 2010 dropped. Okay, recession back then. 665 homes compared to 1,327. That's a big jump up now. That's good, right? 2015, 1,043 versus 1,327. Okay, still more now. Sure. 2020, okay, here's where it's starting to come around. COVID, people starting to buy stuff up. We're running out of houses. 1,546 for sale in 2020, only 1,327 now. And then last year is 1,477 versus 1,327. It's a 10% delta now. We're down. So again, and on 30A, it feels like there's not much inventory, and there's not, because they're not, right? So here's what it is. So if you're looking for supply to save the day, save prices, I'm not seeing it. This isn't showing it. Panama City Beach, what's going on over there? Well, let's take a look. Condos, let's look at it. So far, year to date, 1,648 been listed. Okay, feels like a good number, 1,648. In '05, 3,013. Again, that was crazy times, man. Short sales and foreclosures everywhere. Okay, 2010, 1,362, massive drop. We have 1,649 now, so there's actually more condos for sale than there was when the market crashed back then. 2015, okay, 1,428. We still have a lot more at 1,648. Quite a few more. So we're sitting good then compared to 2015. 2020, okay, here we go. COVID, 1,487 came on the market. There's 1,648 right now. So we're up there, okay. Now, well, it looks like the inventory's dropping. 1,961 for sale. Last year, there's 1,648 this year. So we're seeing the supply come down in the last year. That's not going to be helpful for prices, probably. Okay, it's certainly not in the short term. Don't look for price relief because of the supply for the condos in Panama City. How about the houses in Panama City? What's going on there? Well, so far year to date, 1,111. Okay, that feels good. We're feeling good about that. 2010, 1,520 for sale. All right, so we're running a delta. A lot of houses back then for sale. I didn't even know they had that many houses in Panama City Beach back then. 2010 dropped dramatically to 736, right? We're at 1111 now, so we're seeing a big jump up now versus in 2010 the market tanked. 2015, 5 years later, 1,428 versus 1111 now. So we're running a delta compared to 2015, rebound time over there. 2020, 1,055 it looks like compared to 1111 now. Pretty close. And then last year we're at 1,308, now we're at 1111. The number of homes for sale has dropped, coming down a little bit. It's interesting how it's down, up compared to all these times. What that tells me is there's a lot of flux in the Panama City Beach housing market. I think that's probably reasonable to expect. Are prices going to come down because of supply? Not this year. Doesn't look like anyway. The supply's not a friend right now for prices. We'll see. Watch it though. It seems a little more volatile. So we'll watch it. We'll watch it for you. What else are we watching? Boy, there's a lot of stuff out there. Demand. How about demand? We got supply. How about demand? Let's look at demand. Take a look at this. This is a graph that shows vacation rentals, right? Which is our world, your world. That's our world, right? Look at that thing. It is just up and to the right. They're saying that this year's a $36 billion industry for vacation rentals globally. It's going to be 111 in 2030, according to these folks. And the reason why is pretty simple. If you look at this, families with children, right? They're now tending to opt for houses and villas and things like that, as opposed to going to hotels and things like that. I see it. If you have a couple kids, 3 kids, 4 kids, that's a couple hotel rooms, or you're squishing in on those small beds, right? Not a lot of room. Get a house, right? And a lot of families are vacationing together, and they're going for the house. Millennials, okay, they're going to drive the market. According to Airbnb, they're going to be 75% of the industry pretty soon. And these folks are traveling in packs right now, and they're renting these VRBO and Airbnb, these houses, these cottages, these bigger condos. They're used to it. It's what they know. Makes sense, right? And then you add the raising, just this increased awareness of Airbnb. Not everybody goes to hotels anymore. Heck, it might even move to more of a vacation or a business traveler and solo, small groups going to hotels with 3, 4, 5 people or more going to an Airbnb vacation rental situation. Tourists, they're adopting private beach houses. I get that, right? You want to go somewhere, you want your own little kingdom. So they're going to these villas, these bigger condos, and they're going that way. So the demand for vacation rentals, what? Look for it. It's a good thing to own vacation rentals, right? Me, you, demand is strong. How about real estate prices over time? Okay, this graph here, right, from the St. Louis Fed, the Fred, shows home prices over time, going back to 1960. That's over time. And look at that thing, up and to the right. Yeah, there's some volatility there at the recession there, the Great Recession, when the banks collapsed, right? Too big to fail and all that. The subprime mortgages. Okay, yeah, that was a thing. But then look, they took off again shortly. Well, not shortly, but after a while, they took off in 2013 or so. The prices started to jump up, a couple little spikes, and then COVID hits, 2020, to the moon, cheap, easy money, right? Before, you can always look at these big run-ups, cheap, easy money, and usually what happens on these run-ups, you have steep run-ups followed by steep drops. So if you're watching the market, you can see these steep run-ups in a short period of time, and you'll know that a short or a steep run-up is followed by a steep drop-off, and you can make adjustments, right? You can do what? Cash out, refi, maybe pull some money out so you can buy up on the down when the market turns, or you can sell, pull out a lot of equity and maybe buy back in on the turn when it drops, or you can just tie a knot in your rope and watch it go. But if you're paying close attention, and we do that, we'll do that for you. It's our job. We can tell you to watch out for the steep inclines. And take a look at the 2022 and 23, the far end of this, the far end of this graph. So this screams there's going to be a sharp downturn. Now, keep in mind, this is nationwide. Okay? Locally. We just talked about supply. That ain't your friend. But this graph seems to tell you it could be coming. All right? So pay attention. If you want us to follow it for you, send us a note in here. Send us an email, info@smartbeachinvestor. We will. This graph is interesting, though. Take a look at it for a minute. Mortgage rates. Look at the mortgage rates. What is going on with mortgage rates? Okay, this is the last 90 days. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Oh, my word. Okay, I still think it's going to be volatile. Okay, the Fed came out. They held steady. They didn't push up the federal funds rate. That's good. Mortgage rates will probably follow along kind of in that realm. But they're up, down, up, down. What this tells me is lock in your rate. If you're thinking about buying, lock in your rate, because if it goes down, you can get a better rate. If it goes up, you're locked in. Lock in your rate. And go back and look at that Fed map. Prices go up over time, and interest rates have trended down over time. I don't know if they're going to come down too much, but I think in the coming years they'll mellow out, and maybe you can refi. But right now, if you're thinking about buying, lock in that rate because it is volatile. So as a summary for the week, okay, I would tell you this. Supply is still not very much. It is going up some, no doubt, but It's not a ton, and I don't even know if it's a game changer. So if you're hoping for supply to cause prices to come down, that's going to be a iffy proposition. Demand is strong, right? For vacation rentals, we saw that. We know that baby boomers are coming. We know all that. We know that the people up north are moving to the south, right? The geographic migration is pulling people here. Demand is strong for our area. But if you look at that Fed map or the graph, prices over time, steep incline are almost always followed by a steep decline. Maybe watch that. We'll watch it for you. So that's what's going on. For this week, long term, if you're a buyer, good times, right? There's going to be demand for a long time. This is a great place to own real estate. If you're looking to get out, though, if you're an owner looking to get out, it's going to be some ups and downs, some rocky times. Our counsel is this: get out. If you're getting out, get out now while you know prices are up here, right? Because they could drop, all right? And if they drop 10, 15%, you're going to get hit hard, okay? So if you're not going to be in it for the long haul, 5 years, 10 years, 20, certainly 5 years or less, I would take a hard look at getting out sooner than later. Lock in that high price, mitigate that risk. So that's what's going on. If you want to talk about your place, send us an email, info@smartbeachinvestor.com. We'll get in touch with you. We'll be happy to help you out. But that's what we got going on now. Check back with us next week. It'll be something new for sure. Have a good week, everyone.